Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 7025 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
Hi. Hey. What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. I keep forgetting tomorrow's Thanksgiving. But it doesn't matter because I got to work anyway, so it's all good. You know what I mean? Everybody else will enjoy. I'm sure people will save me a few plates. If not, I'll have some stuff delivered. We'll figure it out. We'll take care of it. First things first, I do want to get into my week. It has been a great week, actually. Very productive, but it's been very, very good. Like, I've been moving around a lot, getting things done, taking care of business, shopping done for the kids. Just like I told y'all last week, I think I said something about doing the matching pajamas things. I'm not lying about that. I already went and picked them up because, I'm definitely going to make sure I do the matching pajamas things this year. I'm not letting it go. Definitely got to do it. Y'all thought I was playing, but you'll see that some things I play about, some things I'm serious, and that's one of them. Anyway, I want to talk about the highlight of my week first because that's always the best thing to go off of to bring the positive vibes in. My biggest thing was yesterday was my baby's third birthday. It was Miracle's third birthday. And we had an entire day together. From the time we opened our eyes, we were together until the times, well, she went to sleep first, but we both passed out pretty early. I ain't gonna lie. However, it was a great day. So we woke up yesterday. I got her ready, sang happy birthday to her with a cake, candle and everything. Of course, that was great because she was sleepy. She was irritated at first. She was mad that I woke her up. But when she saw that we started singing happy birthday, she just had the biggest smile on her face. So I was like, there we go. That's what I was looking for. So after we did the birthday celebration, we were singing happy birthday. We got dressed. We dropped brother and sister off to school. Of course, me and her went to breakfast. We went to IHOP, man. And let me tell you about this little girl. She kept telling me her tummy, she was hungry. So I'm like, well, we're going to breakfast, so that's not a problem. So we get there. Miracle orders the 5 pancakes with eggs, sausage. And she takes about 2 to 3 bites. And after the 2 to 3 bites, she's just like, all right, Daddy, I'm done. I'm over this. I'm ready to go for the next thing. I'm ready to head out. She's like, no more. I don't want to do this no more. So I'm like, we just got here. I barely was able to eat one piece of chicken I got chicken and waffles. And I was barely able to eat a piece of chicken before she was ready to go. So as soon as they brought the food out after ordering it, I had to ask them to give me some to-go plates and boxes. And we ended up leaving there. But the breakfast was nice because she ended up eating it on the way to and from Build-A-Bear, which was our next stop. So after we went ahead and had breakfast, we went to Build-A-Bear. I let her do the birthday bear, which I found out recently thanks to a friend that if you go to Build-A-Bear on your child's birthday month or on their birthday, I went on her actual birthday so it can seem real. They only charge the amount the child is turning for the bear. That's it. That's the price of the bear. So Miracle, however, she saw 2 bears she wanted. One of them was like a polar bear, I would like to say. But what I love about that one is her birthday bear is just a regular happy birthday Build-A-Bear that she put together. I had to buy a couple outfits for each one, but right, that's what Daddy's for. He's 18. But the other one she got, which was the polar bear looking one, she actually got, my voice was actually put in that bear. And that was the dopest part to me is because as a kid, I've always wanted to go to Build-A-Bear. So as a father doing it with my child, it's just pretty dope that I get to do something like that, let alone leave a voice for her in that bear. So one of the shirts I got on that bear was called her emotional support bear because it has my voice attached to it. And it's just me telling her that I love her. You know what I mean? Simple, Daddy loves you. Hey, Dad, I love you, Miracle. You know what I mean? Something simple like that. And the whenever she heard me say it, she didn't know what I was saying, but she said it back. So when they put it into the bear from the little paw thing, and they told her to press it, and she heard it, oh man, her face must have lit up so much. So happy to see that. It made my day. It made my day. That alone right there made my day. The fact that she was super excited about the fact that she got a bear with my voice in it. Y'all know she's a daddy's girl. She's my shadow. If you didn't know, she definitely when I'm around, she sticks to the hip. Don't go anywhere else. But I love it about her. I love how much of a daddy's girl she is. As we're leaving Build a Bear, she's pressing the button, hugging it, and she ain't let nobody take that bear away from her. So I already see how important it is to her. So after we leave Build a Bear, we did a little bit of shopping. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. That's the first thing we did. We started out before breakfast. We did a little bit of shopping at Burlington. She got a new jacket, some shoes and stuff. And there was this one pair of shoes I thought she would love. They were like little loafers or little slip-on shoes for kids, for her when they're dressed. We did match yesterday in the white and gold. We definitely have the matching outfits thing going on. I'll post pictures later. If you haven't seen them already, I'll post some more pictures later. But I got her a black jacket to go with me. I had on a black robe, black loafer. So I want her to have black jacket, black shoes. But her jacket had hearts on it. So, let her be a girl as well. However, she loves Minnie Mouse. Like my daughter will, if she sees something, she'll point it out to you before you even notice it. She'll point out Minnie Mouse at the drop of a dime. So here I go thinking that I got these Minnie Mouse shoes she's gonna love, but she wants to take away these little gold shoes that we found at Burlington, and they're like maybe a half inch to an inch on the heel, but they're for toddlers. And that girl was crazy about them shoes. She had a fit, and it was her birthday, so I got them for her. I got her both pairs, but it was her birthday, and I let her do what she wanted to do. But the way that girl was in them heels, walking around running, I know they little, so it doesn't really matter. But I felt like I told her mama, I said, who shoes she been wearing around here? Because that girl doing that like she been doing it for 20 years. She running around, hop skipping. She ran full fledged down her grandma's driveway. You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, I don't know about all of that, baby. You got a little too much talent for me. But overall, we went to her grandma's house, cause let them see her little outfit and everything. Let them see her happy birthday and it all. Hung out with there for a little bit till the older ones got out of school. And once they got out of school, we grabbed them and then we went to Wally Wombats. Man, them kids. I was so tired yesterday, from 7, 8 in the morning till about 6 p.m., 7 p.m. And I didn't come home and make dinner. I grabbed a couple pizzas from Walmart, DiGiorno. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. And I went ahead and threw that up in the goddamn oven for the kids. Called it a day. Shortly after I passed out, so I can't remember the rest of the night, but for the most part, we all had a great time. Miracle really enjoyed her birthday, and everywhere she went, when she got to her grandma's house, when she got around people, she just kept showing them. She would show them the bear, and she would hold the arm to press it, so they can hear me telling her I love her. And she was just showing it off to everybody, and I just loved it. I loved every minute of it because my baby loved me. I gotta know I gotta be doing something right if the kids love me. I gotta be doing something right, so it's not all bad. It's not all bad at all. So yeah, yesterday was the highlight of my week due to my baby's birthday. We had an entire day together filled with fun activities. It was great. It was amazing. And now we have Christmas coming up. So we'll enjoy this and go from there. Hopefully, me and Amon will be able to partner together to make this Christmas decent for him. So I ain't got to worry about too much. What's the next thing that I want to? You know what? These couple things I had to get that out the way because positive vibes, right? I had to talk about that. But happy birthday to my baby Miracle. She turned 3 finally, and she was happy to tell everybody she spent the day with me. Next on the list I got that I want to talk about is celebrity business. Okay, I'm gonna get right into this one and get to it. Celebrity business is just, I think it's kind of pointless. So, what is it? Rod Wave and Diddy and all of this stuff going on now. There's a difference between trying to be in celebrity business and fighting a cause. Now, if whatever's going on with Diddy, however that may be, the situations that have been said, it's not right for the women if they are being forced to do stuff. Nobody should be forced to do anything. Now that situation alone is like, hey, I get it. But for all other stuff y'all digging into with them, it's just like, let it go. Like that celebrity business is it's gonna drive y'all crazy because y'all are so busy worried about what they got going on what they doing, who they with, who they dealing with, that y'all not even focusing on your own lives and what you got going on. Because at the end of the day, you got just as much shit that you need to worry about as they do. But you so more worried about them fixing theirs that you ain't even trying to fix yours. But hey, who am I to talk? I'm just a regular motherfucker minding my own goddamn business. The reason why you don't see me talking too much about these people, like, I mean, the Rod Wave situation, that is kind of wild for him to be stealing songs. I see Boosie had an issue with him, and Rod Wave stated something about the fact that he paid everyone that should have been paid for any song he's ever sampled or copied. And if he did, good businessman, you did what you had to do, call it a day. He even stated that with the song with Boosie, I believe he stated something about he paid the record label. I don't know, I can't remember. But all in all, do y'all not realize those are just everyday problems that they have as celebrities? We have everyday problems as regular people. You know what I mean? And we just kind of go through them, siphon through them, do what we got to do, deal with it, handle it, or not, whatever the case may be. But those celebrities, those little things y'all go crazy over every single time. Like, what was the other one? The whole Snoop Dogg stop smoking thing? Found out it was promotion for a stove. Like I said before, I never thought Snoop Dogg would be smoking, and I felt like if he did, it was a medical condition that probably came from it, because ain't no way Snoop Dogg was going to stop smoking. That boy been smoking for years on end. Anyway, that just goes to show y'all be so deep into everyone's business. My first thought was it could have been a medical condition, and look at me, I was wrong too. It was the fact that he was doing an ad for freaking what do you call it? A smokeless stove, smokeless stove ad. I mean, yeah. We got to stop putting ourselves into their lives as if we were meant to fix them and tailor them, because we're not. It is for entertainment purposes only. So hey, if we see it, it's okay to make a comment or to have an opinion about it. But for y'all to become the FBI agents over celebrity business, it's crazy to me, because they not paying y'all to do it. Y'all only making them more money. You're not making yourself more money, unless you don't like a talk show or podcast or something, and kind of like, like the Shade Room type shit, and you are meant to be talking about that and you're getting paid for it. Then I understand you're just doing your job. But for everybody that's sitting out here on a day-to-day 9 to 5, whether you're working at a hotel, working at a fast food restaurant, working at a golf course, working anywhere, wherever the case may be, if you're just doing a regular 9 to 5 and you feel like you need to take more time to dive into a celebrity's life than to fix the shit that's going on your own, that's the problem right there. That is the exact reason why some of y'all are feeling like social media is running the way you think and operate. And mentally, we cannot afford that. We cannot. If you cannot come to an agreement to understand that this celebrity business ain't got shit to do with you and your mental is more important than it, then that's a problem. Because you should be working on yourself and what you have going on than worried about what the next motherfucker got going on. That's already got most of their life figured out, because they successful in a way. All that other shit is it'll come to them. But right now, you in the trenches still, and you want to worry about them. Maybe take a step back, think about what's going on, and kind of handle your business. Because there's no way that I'm going to continue to sit up here and worry about somebody's business and it ain't paying or benefiting me. It's just not possible. I got other stuff I can work on, like myself or my children or my life. Real progress and growth to make. You know what I mean? Real progress and growth to make. Also, with the ceiling challenge, I see both sides. Okay, the ceiling challenge is something where some girls are just shaking their ass because they just like to shake ass. It goes back to that whole statement of, if you met a woman in a club and you dating her and dealing with her, you can't get mad that she's going to a club. That's how you met her. That's exactly how you met her. So you should be okay and understand that she goes to the club. Otherwise, don't go look for a girl that you want to date in the club. Sorry. It's crazy. We all are really forgetting how to really be social, because it's weird that everyone feels like the only time you can meet somebody is if you dancing on them or they shaking their ass in front of you, or you seeing them naked or some shit on like OnlyFans or Pornhub, whatever the case may be. It's wild that people don't understand that you can go out to a mall and meet somebody. You can go out to have lunch somewhere and meet somebody. You can go to a fucking jumping place and meet somebody. It doesn't matter where you are or where you're located. Meeting somebody is not an issue, but it's the type of person you choose to meet. So if you want to meet somebody that's a party girl that wants to club all the time, you're right. Go to clubs and go to parties. That's where they're going to be at. But if you want to be somebody that's not going to be in the clubs and not going to be out there shaking their ass all the time, then don't be in the club looking for a wife. Sorry. It's as easy as that. That irritates me. I had a friend before that was upset over, listen, I used to go get tables at Chateau all the time, Wednesday nights for industry night. Okay. Every week I would get a table comp for me. I was working at Cricket as a manager, and the store next door, the guy was a promoter, and as long as I brought people in, he didn't care, which I did gracefully. The issue was I had a acquaintance that I brought along, and the girl he met, she was in the club. Now, mind you, I've seen her there before because, again, I'm there every fucking week at this point. Like, literally every Wednesday, he telling me, come get a table, come get a table, come get a table. And I'm like, bet, no problem. I'm going to come get one. So, finally, he was talking about the girl, and he said that he was like, man, I don't get it, man. We cool and all, we official, but it's like she just keep going to the club. She just can't stay out the club. And I actually told him, like, okay, that's where you met her. What's the problem? What is the real issue here? His issue is, oh, well, I was at the club and I know what I wanted when I seen her, so I'm only thinking what other dudes. Okay, do you have trust in your woman or not? Because you're worried about what other dudes going to do. You need to have faith in what she going to do. If you feel like she's trustworthy enough to go to the club and come back without doing anything harmful to your relationship, let her. If you feel like she will do something harmful to your relationship, good riddance. Let her go. It is what it is. But either way it goes, you knew she was a club girl prior to. So I told him, like, anything she's doing, you can't be mad or upset about that shit. You just can't. You know why? Because you signed up for it. You let it happen. So what I say about that is, some girls just like to shake ass. Some girls just want to do this chilling challenge because it's fun for them. And let's be honest. Let's be honest. We are in different times. I'm going to get to some of that a little later, though, about different times. But we are in different times. So some things are okay with some people and they're not okay for other people. That has never changed about time. It's always going to be like that. Some things will be okay for some people. Some things won't be okay for some people. It is what it is. Some of them are just like, shit. They just want to have fun, Like, some men are looking at it like, oh, well, how can you wanting to get a family and do this and do that, and you shaking your ass, you do it. Again, we are in different times. You can Google anything about ass, and you'll see videos of women shaking their ass all across the internet. It is what it is. It is what it is. Times are different. Times have changed. The traditional woman, the definition of traditional woman seems to be changing as well. One thing about it is, like, stop talking about traditional roles. None of us are traditional. None of us at all. As much as I love the idea of love and as much as I want to be a family man and all of that good stuff, I have the white picket fence, the dog house, all of that stuff, nothing about me is traditional. It's just not. We're in different times. I guess the only thing you can say is the fact that even with that, I'm not even going to say that because that's kind of critical to say. So I'm not even going to say that. It's just not it. What I will say is we talk about the fact of traditions when it comes to a man being a man and a woman being a woman. That was made back when, and I'll be honest, somebody made a good point where they said that was made back when a woman actually needed a man. Like, they couldn't get a bank account, they couldn't work, they couldn't do this, they couldn't do that because they'd have to have a man attached to them. And now in today's times, women can work, women can have bank accounts, women can drive, women can do whatever they want to do, vote, all of the above. They can do everything we can do. Okay. When it comes to the freedom that this country has to offer to some of us. So it's kind of harder for a man to make an impression, so to say. A lot of men think it's hard when I just think in actuality, honesty goes a long way. So it's not really hard. I think it's about how you act and not what you say, but how you say. Most people fail to realize that it's not what you say, it's how you say it part. That really gets to a lot of people into it. One thing about that is not y'all. I'm going to take that out of the situation. I'm going to get back to the traditional thing. A lot of men are stating over the fact that women aren't traditional in X, Y, and Z. Oh, they're not cooking, they're not cleaning, they're not doing this and that. And y'all know, to me, those are basic gender life roles. You as a single person should know how to cook, clean, and wash your clothes. That's just basics. You should be able to do all of that stuff. So you try to put that on a gender, I don't want to hear it. Another thing about it is a lot of women are upset at the men for not being that for not paying all the bills, not being 100% providers, and not really being a traditional, house or the traditional husband that we saw back in the day. My response to that is, you cannot be mad at men, right? I may hurt a few feelings with this next one, but women, if you are upset at men over this situation of the fact that they want to go half on bills, or they want to go half on that, or want to go Dutch, they want to split things 50-50, whatever the case may be, you shouldn't be mad at those men for the simple fact that they are encouraging and enabling what your ancestors fought for. Women fought for the rights to be able to pay bills. Women fought for the rights to be able to drive, to be able to work, to be able to vote. They fought to have all of those rights, to be able to do every single thing that they want to. So if the biggest issue is you wanting a man to be a man or wanting to pay all your bills, you are really shitting on what your ancestors fought for in a way. Now, it's okay for you to say you want a man that does that, and then you just have your opinion about it. But when you start bashing all men because of that situation, it's just kind of crazy. Now, granted, I always have to say this because I hate the fact that y'all always want to point me out. I always take myself out of the equation because I'm giving a general standpoint. But, me personally, like, I don't mind paying the bills. I don't mind going to work, like, taking care of the family. But for argument's sake, you have men out there that are okay with doing 50-50 or going Dutch on everything, or, even letting the woman take control of doing everything. But most of those men are, they'll tell you, like, your ancestors fought for you to be here. This is something that they wanted the power to be able to do, to pay bills, to take care of a household, to be able to drive to and from work, or to be able to go get a job, to be able to open a bank account and invest, and all of this good stuff that everyone is able to do now. So when you get mad at the men for it, it's like, they only trying to encourage you to do what your ancestors were trying to get you to do, be interdependent. You like what I did there? I think I do too. But hey, who am I? I'm just somebody talking. I can't really speak on nothing but my personal issues too, and what I see in the general viewpoint of everybody as well, of course. But again, to each his own, to each his own. Oh, I forgot. Was that almost? Okay. Here we go. So, this is a good one. I was having a conversation with an associate, coworker, if I must be honest. I was having a conversation, and we went back to the whole dating situation and scenario. And I love giving my viewpoint on when it comes to dating, because it's like everyone has their own idea of what they want to look for, what they expect. And he asked me on what is it that really makes me lose interest and why talking to women doesn't last too long. And it's never to the point where, I don't want to say unnecessarily it doesn't last too long. It's just that people show you their true colors, right? This is what I like to say with that one is, have you ever wondered what a person does that has crossed you? Like so when you catch somebody doing something wrong to you, you should never feel bad or feel sorry for them, because their list of things they've done wrong is longer than what you know about. You know what I mean? You can't imagine how many moves they had to make to cross you to get to that point of that final move. It was like a game of chess. They played you the entire time, and you don't know how many of those moves were genuine versus how many of them were to cross you. So don't ever feel bad over the fact that you had to really put somebody in a place, because fuck them. If they got to cross you, there's no loyalty here. Fuck it and leave it alone. Like, call it a fucking day. And some of y'all are so busy worried about losing a friend that you don't want to sit up there and call these people out. Let me tell you something right now. If that was your friend, you wouldn't have to worry about calling them out, because they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it at all. So normalize demoting friends. They can become associates or acquaintances. And even after that, they can become less than that, nothing. But normalize the fact that you can demote these people out of your life. They do not have to be there whatsoever. These toxic people that are constantly pushing you down and weighing you down, they're not helping. They're not helping at all. So let them go. Let them go. Period. Point blank. Now I say that because I have a lot of friends, or used to be friends, acquaintances, and when it comes to dating, they feel like as long as the person looks good and the sex is good, everything is okay. And I had to stop surrounding myself with people like that, because you're not about to sit up here and tell me that as long as they look good and the sex is good, you'll deal with any fucking thing they throw your way. I'm sorry. That's just not me. That's not me at all. Now, I have definitely, again, I love the idea of love. You know what I mean? To be in love, the fact of it, what it brings, what it entails, the whole 9 yards. I love it. But one thing is, like, I don't see that too often in my generation. You know, me personally, I struggle with confidence growing up. When it comes to looks and personality, I struggle with confidence a lot. Now I don't have to worry about that issue, and I'm blessed that I don't have to anymore. But I went through a lot of shit to learn it. Um, but with that being said, I've always been the one that looks deeper than just looks. Like, I want to know what your personality and soul looks like. Okay, so a lot of the times where I choose to try to not have sex at first, which is majority of the time, and it's only because, like, I know I'm good in bed. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm the best, but you ain't gonna have no complaints. You know what I mean? Definitely gonna have no complaints, and you definitely gonna want some more. So what I say by that is, if that's all you're looking for, then you have to understand the way you'll get treated, because that's all you really want at the moment. Um, I may not answer your call every time. I may not text you back every time. I may not even hit you up all the time, right? I may even ignore you when you do want to come over for it, because to me it's like, I can get a nut anytime. I'm not really worried about that. So I say that because sex is never the first thing on my mind. I always want to know how you are as a person, your personality, what you look like on the inside. How dope of a person are you, or are you a bad person? So a lot of the times I try to conversate, hang out and try not to do anything conspicuous or anything sneaky as far as linking. I try to keep it professional and my clothes on. Okay. I really do. Now, there's been a couple times where, I've just been hit by a dope soul, and they were able to get the draws pretty fast. And, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm actually surprised that they were able to do it. But some people have conversation and personalities that you don't have to worry about looking for, because they shine bright. You know what I mean? They're just out there. So shout out to those people. But for the most part, most of you are all bark no bite. Everyone seems to talk a good talk, but they don't walk a good walk. So someone can tell you how good of a person they are, how they're good at communicating, they're good at being honest, they're good at being open. But throughout conversation, and I'm very observant, so I'm going to pay attention all the time. You'll see and you'll notice that pretty much no, they don't go through any words. So people tell on themselves when they talk. That's for one. They typically tend to go ahead and they'll spill all the beans without even knowing that they spilled all the beans. Especially if you like me, you can put three and three together and make seven. Probably go over some of y'all heads, but you'll get it later. Um, Me, I remember everything, and I'm going to talk to you about everything. So when it gets to the point where I start to see your actions don't match your words, I may step back a little bit, because obviously I let the facade you put on first kind of get me, right? However, you have some people that can back it up with their actions. They are responsible. They respond all the time. They hit you up all the time. They talk to you all the time. And sex isn't the main topic, which is great. I mean, it may always lead back or say something to it, but it's never the main topic, which is great to have. Um, Personally, me, like, I got sex toys. So unless I really need it, unless I'm really craving it, I go to my toys. So talk to me nice. Let me see what your soul is about, because that's what's really going to get me to actually talk to you. Like, women have always appreciated what I can do in the bed, but why ain't nobody ever showed up to my doorstep with a trench coat on and nothing underneath, huh? Nothing on underneath at all. I feel like I deserve that much at least. Like, that's a fantasy of mine. I'm waiting for a girl to pull up to my house, knock on the door, and as soon as I open it, she flashed me that she ain't got nothing on under that trench coat. Because let me tell you something. You coming right back here to this room, and I'm going to tear you up all night. That's just a fantasy of mine. I want that to happen one of these days. Hopefully soon it will. Hopefully soon it will. But literally, little stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, make me feel like you listen to me, you hear me. Because a lot of the times, y'all just be wanting to fuck, and you'll, yeah, oh, okay, you're way into it, and call it a day. Some women, though, man, listen. Some women have questions that will, how do you say it? Some women have questions that will shock the fuck out of you. They will make you second guess everything when it comes to dating, because like, how the fuck are you asking me this question that I've never been asked before? Where did it come from you to be asking me that, and you barely even know me, but you asking questions I wish people would ask all the goddamn time. You know what I mean? Those people are dope. Those people are dope. But you have to make sure they got pure intentions with you, true intentions. Because my thing is, like, I don't trust nothing. I'm not gonna lie. Um, if I see any part of your action is fragile or weak to the point where it can't stand firm because it's built with a couple of lies, maybe one or two, but a couple of lies, then I start to push back and just be like, let me see what they really want to do. And your actions will tell me everything. You know what I mean? Your actions will show me exactly where you want to be and what you want to do or what you got going on. I keep saying this all the time. Honesty goes a long way with me. You'll never know what I'll agree to if you don't be honest with me and tell me. Because in all honesty, like, I've been to every part of the thing. And somebody said the other day, you shouldn't be glorified to being a side dude. I'm not glorified to being a side dude. What I'm glorified about is the fact that I'm able to protect my own feelings all the time, my own situation. Everybody say, well, that's not fair. You're breaking up happy homes. Whether or not, one thing y'all need to see is you can't break up a happy home unless somebody opens the door. Okay, that's one. And two, when I was in that situation and I was a faithfully, happily married man, nobody gave a fuck about me when it was my turn, when they had to do me like that. When they broke up what you so-called my happy home, which, somebody had to let them in, right? Somebody had to let them in. So yeah, I don't hear none of that no more. You know what I mean? Like, So to me, you say glorify being a side dude, but I protect my own feelings that way. Whatever they got going on in their personal situation or personal relationship, that's completely up to them. Whatever I got going on with that woman, it's completely up to me. Whatever decision we choose to make, completely up to me. But I don't feel bad about it at all because at the end of the day, nobody spared me. So why should I spare the next man? Y'all call it pettiness, some said bitterness, but it's not, because I've forgiven him and her in that situation. I've forgiven them both. Him, actually, I never forgave because I had no problem with it at first, because I have no beef with that man. Whatever the case may have been, I got no beef or issues with him because I don't even know him that well. So for me to beef with him would be pointless. But still, it is what it is. Nobody spared me, so I really don't care about sparing nobody else. And that's only because I spent my entire life trying to stay away from stuff like that. I've tried to be wholesome and make sure I never mess with anybody that was married or in a relationship because I felt like it was disrespectful. Like, I've always been the one to root for the fact that marriages and relationships should work out without outside involvement. And now I'm on the other end of it, where I see that some relationships need outside involvement in order to strive. For example, a man might need to see his woman dealing with me. You know why? Am I making me get on this shit? And I'm saying that from what? Pure experience. I had a woman in the past I was dealing with, and mind you, this was the one time a woman has actually came and been completely honest with me about the entire situation. And, it was fun while it lasted. And when we ended it, it ended to the point she could call me up tomorrow and be like, hey, I'm back on the market again. You free tonight? And I'll pull up, or she'll pull up, whatever the case may be. It's just, I've had that happen before. But do you know that that woman told me that the only reason her man started acting right, her man started doing what he needed to do, being a man, taking care of the household, not running around in the streets, messing with other women. The fact that he saw her dealing with another man, I'll just say dealing with me, it made him feel like he was on the verge of losing her. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. It is. It's weird. But a lot of men think like that. Y'all think these women won't go nowhere? Y'all feel like y'all got it down to the point where whatever you do, she gonna stay around and deal with it. And it's not like that. It's not like that at all. Because then a dude like me come around and show you what she could be dealing with, even though I don't got no plans to take it further than what it is. But to you, it looks like I do. And guess what happens then? You kick your shit in high gear and get on it. Do whatever you got to do. You showing up to a job with flowers that same day. You know what I mean? So in a way, I'm helping the community. I know some of y'all gonna tear the shit up out of me for saying it like that, but in a way, I'm helping out the community. I'm not doing it to be malicious. I'm not doing it to be bitter. I'm just telling you exactly a situation that's worked out in the better at the end of the day, or worked out in the past. One other thing I do want to talk about too with that is, you got a lot of people who have done you wrong and crossed you, right? Excuse me. For example, let's say you got a family member that's in your kids' mom's DMs, or in your ex-girlfriend or your wife DM, whatever the case may be. Y'all have an issue with people crossing you and wanting to forgive them, but maintain the relationship. If you had to cross me, we don't need a relationship. Obviously, you've already let it be known we don't need a relationship the minute you made the plan to cross me. Not when you did it, but when you made the plan to do so. When people do you wrong, believe them and let them see that. Like I said earlier, they probably have a list bigger than yours on what they did wrong to you, because you don't know how many moves it took them to get there to make that final move. You don't know how many times they went across the board before they made that final move to get you right at the heart. Right? I'm just saying, to me, it's weird. Stop letting these people who've done you wrong back into your life, because all they see is another opportunity to do it again. And that's personal experience. I've done that with family, friends, close family, immediate family, moms, brothers. It never works out well. You're going to keep beating yourself up over the fact that you let them get in again and fuck up your mentality. But again, hey, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But just don't complain about it later if you don't want to make the change and do what it needs to do to cut these people out your life. I hate hearing that term, you only get one mom and one dad, or this and that. You know what? That is completely true. You do only get one. So why are they the only ones that are crossing you? Why are they the ones doing you wrong, huh? Step away from it. It's just like they have feelings about it, you have feelings as well. The way you feel matters about situations. Fuck the fact of what society is trying to tell you to think or what's going on. Take care of yourself. That's always the first step. I saw a post yesterday that stated, if I asked you what you love in life, how long would it take before you were to put yourself on that list? How many things would you go through before you put yourself on a list? Or would you even put yourself on that list? I like that because taking care of you is priority numero one. Priority number one. And people say, well, if you have kids, no. If you have kids, it still should be taking care of yourself first. I don't care about none of that. You know why? Because if you're not okay, who's going to take care of them kids? Because if something happened to you, and God forbid you're the only parent, then they go into foster care. Or God forbid you're the only parent that actually want to deal with them, then they go into foster care. Take care of yourself first. Because if you can't take care of you, you won't be there to take care of them kids. So you can't give me no excuse. You are always priority number one in taking care of yourself. Stop putting it to the side for temporary satisfaction. I don't care what the person is, who the person is. I don't care how good they make you feel in 5 minutes. Take care of yourself. Because I guarantee you, when you start loving you and taking care of you, there's nothing anybody can offer that will trump your happiness. I kid you not. There's nothing nobody can offer that will trump the amount of happiness you will come for yourself, or you will gain for yourself. I ran through that part kind of fast. All right. Also, next, I do want to talk about the holidays are coming up, right? So since the holidays are coming up, I only worry about the family I created, which are my kids. You know what I mean? I grew up in a family where both parents didn't want me. My siblings showed me they didn't want me. And now I'm at a point in my life where the holidays used to affect me bad because I lost my brother in 2012. And when I lost him, I felt like the family was just torn to shreds. So I had nothing left. And the family that I would expect to be there to support and comfort me just shitted on me time after time and time again. You know what I mean? So all in all, it made me feel like the holidays were nothing to celebrate. And then let's rewind to 7 years ago, and I had my first child. Holidays meant something different to me at this point. Now I got a reason to celebrate, a reason to be there. So now when the holidays come around, of course, I'm always trying to do my best to spend my time with my kids because they're the only family I got, and they show me so much love, unconditional, you know what I mean? And I love it. So I'll do anything I can for them. Even if I got to work on it, like I'll offer it to work and then I'll offer to cook and then they could just take it to their grandma's house and, call it a day. But none of that was even, it was go ahead and do what you got to do. So no worries there. But Christmas is definitely going to be great. I don't know if we're doing Christmas here at my house or if we're doing it at their mom's house, but either way, Christmas is going to be nice. I can't wait for that to come up. But the holidays are back on my favorite things to do because my little ones, I'm excited to give them the spirit and joys of holidays that I never got as a kid, but they will definitely get that love and respect that I didn't get. Last thing I want to talk about is accountability. Oh God, I don't know if I got enough time for this, but I'm going to try to make it enough time. Before I say that, there's a few apps that can help y'all with y'all mental health. I hear a lot of men talk about they don't want to go see nobody in person. They don't want to be seen going into an office, be seen this or seen that. There's an app called BetterHelp and Regain, right? Those are two different apps where you can actually get financial aid with those apps to help you pay for therapy. And you can also do it from the comfort of your own home, like you're on FaceTime, going to the bathroom or wherever you need to go into a corner or in your car, for God's sakes. But you can have that therapy session right from the palm of your goddamn hand to help you get over that fear of walking into a building or walking into an office. Help is everywhere. Like they say, we got an app for that. um, Also, though, there's also an app called Headspace. I like to offer that one up to people because, especially men, it kind of helps you stay in a calm zone. It'll get you to a point where you can kind of think better, operate better on a daily basis without having to feel like you're too overwhelmed, too anxious. It just helps me out a lot, and I figure it might help y'all. So, anyway, back to the topic at hand. Accountability. I had me, Tree, and Junior. We previously did a show called Not Just Company here on the radio station as well, but those are my brothers. And they used to always say something to me that I never understood. I never understood this. They would always say, Marquand, you're too nice. You're too nice of a guy. You know what I mean? And when it comes to accountability, I expect I'm supposed to be nice, right? But I guess it's to a certain extent what I've learned. But it's the fact that the biggest thing they told me is you overshare too much, like you talk too much. And that's because I'm completely honest with the person I'm dealing with and dating. And when I say that, it's like, I'm going to tell you every single thing because I'd rather you hear it from me first before you have to hear it from anybody else. So you may hear something, or if I tell you something, I'm not telling you to throw it in your face, to rub it in, nothing like that. I'm telling you because this news is something you need to hear from me and me directly. You shouldn't hear it from nobody else. And a lot of people can't accept that. Also, I'm very blunt. So I speak on how I feel. When something is irritating me or bothering me, I got to talk about it. I got to let it be known. A lot of women say that men can't be honest and we can't do this and we can't do that. But from my personal experiences, I always got to say that with y'all because I like to jump down my throat. From my personal experiences, I've never had a woman appreciate the fact that I'm honest until it was too late. And what I mean by that is later on down the road, they always come back and be like, I may not have liked what you have said, but I respected it because of the fact that you were being honest with me. So they didn't appreciate it then, but they appreciated it later because y'all will see, everybody's not honest out here. They're just not honest out here. But me, I'd rather the fact that you have all the details so we can talk about it and work through it right then and there than have to worry about me manipulating the situation and the story just to get what I want from you. Because I don't have to do that to get what I want. You know what I mean? I can simply go get what I want from somebody that's easily willing to give it up to me. Whatever the case may be. But you have a lot of people that don't know how to be accountable. So that honesty looks like an attack to them, right? What I've learned is you have to treat those people like children when you're talking to them. You got to coach them through and try to show them and lead them to be accountable. Now, if you lead somebody to be accountable or you're trying to get them to kind of get there, wherever they may be, and they just don't want to be accountable, honestly, it's there's nothing you can really do about that. You have to just call it. You got to be all right, it's cool, and call it a day. You will frustrate yourself more trying to get them to understand where they went wrong instead of trying to actually fix the situation. Because the biggest thing is they don't want to acknowledge the role they played in the situation. You know what I mean? And when you can't acknowledge the role you played in the situation, that's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy because it's like you saying I was there, but I ain't telling y'all what I did. Even though everybody saw you do it. So I always say, man, if you can't get somebody to really understand the roles they played in the situation or get them to understand what role they had in that part, treat them with silence. Just be quiet, man. Just let it go. Ignore it. Because obviously, it doesn't matter what you say or what you show them. They are not going to go ahead and take accountability for what they've done. It sucks. But you got to remember, a lot of people are listening with the intent to respond, not with the intent to understand what you're saying. I realized that in the past few days that you can break down every single thing somebody has done to you, and the only thing they will do is wait for the chance to respond to something, so that they can have that I told you so moment or I was right moment. But they're not even trying to understand what's going on, what you're trying to say, or where you're coming from. I want to say in the past 3 or 4 days, I've had conversations with people where when it got to the point where I see that they don't really care to understand the situation more so as to being right, I just cut it off. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I don't want to have this conversation no more. But then when I go and based off what they said and how they operated when I try to do that, now based off of my actions over the fact that, well, you didn't care, you don't care, you're not listening, you don't understand. Now I go make a move and I do something that puts me in a place where I'm around people that do care. I'm around people that do understand. I'm around people that want to see me supportive or want to be supportive and want to see me successful. Whether it's they help me get in the doors I couldn't get in before, or whether they are, being there to mentally for me, listening to me, talking to me, conversating with me. I'm telling y'all, man, conversation is a hell of a thing. And I'm telling women right now, if you have a man and he's conversating heavily with another woman to the point where they're talking about things that bother them, things that irritate them. I'm not talking about a best friend because you can't, best friends are different. But if you got a woman that he's like talking to on a daily, and basically the situation is they talk about what he wants, what he doesn't want, what irritates him, what bothers him, what frustrates him. Emotionally, that woman has got you beat. You can walk in that room today and tell that man that he can't talk to her no more, and y'all relationship will end before he stopped talking to her. And instead of you acknowledging the fact that she gave him a safe space to talk or be at, you're going to blame him and say he's wrong because he's doing all this extra stuff. But I'm telling you from a personal experience, I've been there. I've tried to, what do you call it? I've tried to go ahead and, I tried to go ahead and, what do you call it? I tried to go ahead and be, or express myself to you. Because a lot of people won't even acknowledge that. They won't even acknowledge that the man has tried to come to you and tell you what it is or what the issue is. So, it's not really a surprise. But when he expressed himself or talked to you about it or try to tell you what the problem is, and it's not being fixed because you overshadow it with the fact that your feelings are hurt because he expressed what's not being fixed or what's not being done, that's a personal problem. Now you have to manage yourself because you weren't listening, because you let your feelings get the best of you, But yeah, anyway, logically speaking, sometimes you got to take yourself out of the equation and stop being selfish, And some of these men have tried to talk to y'all, and I've seen conversations. I'm not saying it's right that they go cheat, because you should never go cheat. But when they leave y'all, and they have these reasons as to why, and y'all just get to bashing them, I can see why. Because as soon as it was over and it didn't benefit you, now you're angry and upset. But you don't want to understand the truth is that some people tried to come and fix situations before they even got there. Anyway, looks like I am out of time for you today. However, we will do this again next week, next Wednesday, 4 p.m. like always on the hottest radio station on the planet, Hot 702.5 FM. Don't forget to follow me on the socials. You got me on Twitter as Quanni702 or just Quanni. Instagram is the same way, just Quanni, or choose your character. Facebook is Mark Quan Thomas, or Quan Facebook Joe Thomas, of course. And TikTok is just Quanni23, as well as YouTube, just Quanni. So don't forget to follow me. Reach out, man. I'll see y'all next week again. Peace, love, and hair grease. I'll catch y'all next week.